Hello everyone. So today's class is all about compression, and the way that I can describe compression is on your exhale. Once you've exhaled all that air and your belly is pulled back to your spine, thinking about it in something like a tiger curl. So we use compression in a tiger curl to bring that leg forward, to bring it through into a low lunge. Now the way that we get more advanced is that we then use our shoulder blades as well to push the ground away, to separate the shoulder blades, creating a big amount of space through the whole of the torso, pulling that belly up, and then again, so you've got space to move this knee. I'll quickly show you. So imagine we're in our downward facing dog, 3-leg dog. Big exhale through your tiger curl. Really bringing that knee up into the chest. As you come forward, you're pushing the ground away, you're separating your shoulder blades, and as you can't come forward anymore, that's when you step down. Now, that could feel completely impossible. Maybe you're never going to get there. But that is the action and that is the feeling that we're going to be using in today's class, because if we don't try, we definitely won't, will we? So if you do ever want to progress into jump throughs and things like that, that is the space that we want to create. So that's what we're going to be working on today. So really integrating that breath, really thinking about the exhales, drawing the shoulder blades apart. We are going to need 2 blocks, so grab your 2 blocks, or if you've got lunch boxes or something like that, just to prop yourself up. Okay, we're going to start onto our backs. Okay, so we've all made our way down to the ground, coming into a mini shavasana. Legs out wide, feet dropping out to the sides, hands away from the body, palms facing up, closing down the eyes. And just breathe here. Using this time to really settle into your practice, surrendering into this time that you have carved out for yourself to prioritize yourself. Softening the space behind the eyes, softening the jaw. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. As you breathe in, you're filling up all the way to the bottom of your stomach. And as you breathe out, you're feeling that stomach coming back down. Nothing too dramatic to start with. Nice inhales and exhales, softening the space behind the eyes, softening the jaw. Allowing the shoulder blades to drop down. Feeling this heaviness and this sense of groundedness to move all the way down to the toes. Every exhale releasing a tiny bit more of tension that you can feel in your body. Just surrendering onto your mat. Coming into a big stretch, fingers and toes as far away from each other as possible. Feel free to keep the eyes closed for the time being. And then bending up the knees, hugging the knees into the chest, drawing the knees down, hugging the knees in. Drawing the shoulders down, feeling the whole of the back of the head, all the way down to the tailbone. Drawing down into the mat. And then just gently place your hands on the front of the shins, maybe towards the knees. We're going to inhale, we're letting go of the knees, so the knees draw away from us so that you can have a really big space to inhale, filling up that belly. Exhale, gently pulling the knees down. Inhale, release, fill up that belly. Exhale. Finding that space to bring the knees back down. Inhale. Exhale. One more. So really starting to understand that relationship between that space you're creating in the belly. Gently placing the left leg down, extending the right leg to the sky, hamstring stretch, whether you're holding onto the toe, the calf, the hamstring, absolutely bend in that knee. Now what we want to be working towards is the right shoulder, drawing down to the ground, the back of the head drawing down to the ground. So if you're somebody that's reaching like this, just place your hands slightly lower down on that leg. Keep sending the energy through the heel. Remember, I've said it 100, probably 200 times before, that when the foot is flexed in dorsiflexion, that allows the calf to activate, that allows the thigh to activate, and these are reciprocal muscles that allow the hamstring to lengthen. So that is why I'm always telling you to flex that foot. And then just gently crossing the right leg towards the left, holding on to the outside of that right leg, whether it's the outside of the foot, the calf, the hamstring, with the left leg, just moving this into an IT band stretch. Keep flexing that foot, and you can still have a bend in the knee. All the way back up to the sky, just gently switching over to the other side, extending the left leg, placing the right foot down, holding onto the toe, the calf, the hamstring. Flexing that foot, driving the heel up. And you are breathing. And crossing that left leg slightly over to the right, holding onto the outside of that left leg with the right hand. Feeling that stretch moving down to the outside of that leg now. Really nice. Let go. Okay, we're going to drive the hands up to the sky like we're doing a crow. So like we're balancing on our hands. So our hands are flexed back all the way to us. And then we're going to lift up the knees so that the knees draw in towards the upper arms. And at the same time, we're lifting up off of the shoulder blades to really compress the knees into the upper arms as high as you can. And we are breathing. Remember, the core cannot engage if you're not breathing. That pressure system will not work if those inhales and exhales aren't happening. Keep drawing the knees in, keep drawing the hands up, keep pulling the hands backwards. Exhale all the way down, just extend the arms, placing the feet back down. Big inhale. Exhale all the way up again, hands up, knees in. And reach and return back to that normal breath. Keep driving the hands high, keep lifting the shoulder blades off of the ground. So this is how it's going to feel like when we're on our hands. We're separating the shoulder blades, we're drawing the belly up to the spine. Exhale all the way down. One more time, big inhale. Exhale all the way up, hands up. Drawing the knees as high up into the armpits as you can, reaching the hands as high up to the sky as you can, nice and flexed. Keep separating the shoulder blades. Returning back to that normal breath rather than holding that breath. Exhale all the way down, good job. Just coming to a big stretch, fingers and toes away from one another. Really nice. Hugging the knees into the chest, rocking and rolling up and down your mat into your all fours. As soon as we get there, coming into our cat-cows. Remember, my breaths are going to be different to yours. Big inhale, cow, dropping the pelvis, gazing up. Exhale, cat, push the mat away. Separate those shoulder blades, draw the belly button up into your spine. Inhale up. Exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale, one more. Returning back to center, big inhale, left hand high, gaze up, thread that needle, left hand between the gap of the right hand, right leg. Maybe you're extending that right arm out in front of you, maybe you're extending that right leg behind. Wherever you are, just make sure the hips are nice and square. And you are breathing. Exhale, coming all the way back up, all fours. Other side, big inhale, right hand high, thread that needle. Again, you've got the option to extend the arm, extend the leg. All the way back, all fours, really nice. Extending the right, I feel like I've got mosquitoes all over me. Extending the right leg back, driving the heel backwards, feeling that just tiny bit of a calf stretch depending on how tight those calves are. Keep pushing the mat away so we've got that slight separation of the shoulder blades. Tucking the left toes, pushing up into a really exaggerated bent knee, downward facing dog, so that left knee is really bent. It's our first kind of downward dog, so be nice and gentle on yourself. All the way back down, turning the left toes to the outside of the mat, coming into a modified side plank, reaching the right hand high, pushing the outside of the right foot down to the ground, feeling the underneath side of you lifting as high as you can. And extending the right arm out to the front, lifting that right leg up. On your exhale, drawing elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. All the way back down, all fours, good job. Other side, left leg extended, driving through, working that calf, stretching through that calf. Tucking the right toes all the way back, downward facing dog. All the way back down to the ground, right foot to the outside of the mat, reaching that left hand high, modified side plank, really pushing down the outside of the left foot, reaching up the underside of the body. Inhale, extend the arm, lift the leg. Exhale, draw the elbow to knee together. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, all the way back down, all fours, good job. Inhale here, tucking the toes on your next exhale, all the way back, downward facing dog. So our first downward facing dog, our full downward dog, so knees bent, heels off, maybe you're moving. Wherever you are, you're pushing the fingers into the ground, especially through the index finger knuckle and the thumb. Fingers are spread nice and widely. I'm thinking about the index fingers being parallel towards one another, so that will give you an indication of how the hands are going to be set up on the mat. You're externally rotating the biceps, so they're rotating away from the ears, separating the shoulder blades. The neck is nice and loose, allowing that head to hang, tailbone up to the sky. Inhale, right leg up to the sky, three-leg dog. Tiger curl, coming all the way forward on that exhale, bringing that knee up into the chest and just bringing the shoulders over the wrists. We're going to stay here, so we're feeling this compression. So we're really driving the thigh into the chest. We're pushing the hands into the ground to separate the shoulder blade. And returning back to that normal breath after you've taken the whole of that exhale. Really nice. All the way back, downward facing dog. Three-leg dog, left leg high. Exhale, tiger curl, left leg all the way forward. Knee up into the chest. Knee up into the chest, thigh into the chest, pushing that mat away. Really driving the toes into the ground of that right foot to keep you nice and lifted. And you are breathing. So we're creating so much space in between us and the mat. All the way back, downward facing dog. This time, tiger curl, stepping through into our low lunge. 3-leg dog, right leg high. Tiger curl, knee all the way up into the chest, rolling forward and maybe stepping through. Low lunge, maybe the knee is down. Left hand plants, easy twist, right arm up to the sky. Reaching that right arm, spinning the left rib cage around. Exhale all the way down, vinyasa, or straight back into your downward facing dog. I'm going to come all the way down to the ground for my first vinyasa, into my baby cobra. Back into my downward facing dog. Left leg high, 3-leg dog. Tiger curl, remember to create the space with that exhale as you send the shoulders over the wrists. And then stepping through into that low lunge. Easy twist, right hand down, left arm lifted. All the way down to the ground, vinyasa, or straight back into your downward facing dog. Maybe you're halfway this time into your upward facing dog. Everybody meet downward facing dog. Same flow, 3-leg dog, right leg high. Tiger curl all the way through. Feel that space being created with that exhale, with the separation of the shoulder blades, low lunge. Inhale, easy twist. Exhale. Next inhale, you're coming all the way up to standing. Hands stay where they are. You're reaching the hands, separating the hands as far as away from each other as you can. Exhale all the way down to the ground. Vinyasa is an option again. Everybody meet downward facing dog. 3-leg dog, left leg high. Tiger curl, create that space as you come forward. All the way through low lunge. Easy twist, big inhale. Exhale. Next inhale all the way up to standing. Really reach the fingers away from one another. Nice big twist. Exhale all the way down to the ground, vinyasa. And then we're all going to meet in our child's pose. Whatever child's pose looks for you, maybe your forehead is on a block. Maybe you've got a towel underneath your knees, in the crease of your knees. Maybe you've got a block on your heels to rest the hips onto. But we're all breathing. Coming back into that breath, just noticing if we've let go of that breath for a little bit. Final big inhale and exhale. Coming all the way back up. Now you might just want to watch this next bit or play along with me. Whatever works for you. Depends whether you're a visual or a practical or a listener. So we're going to have our blocks now. You're going to want to set them. I'm going to have them on the highest setting to start with at the front of my mat. We're going to come into our downward facing dog to start with. I'm going to actually do this kind of on a bit of a diagonal so you can see the whole thing. So we're starting off in our downward facing dog. Inhaling, we're going to 3-leg dog, right leg high. Exhale, tiger curl. We're bringing this right leg all the way through into our low lunge. That's when our hands come onto our blocks. We're coming into our half split, so we're coming all the way back, extending through that front leg. We're not here for long because we're going to inhale, big inhale here. We might want to bring, it's actually a bit easier to bring the blocks closer to you. We're going to inhale here. And on our exhale, this is where the compression happens. So we're thinking about hugging the hip bone back into the body as we bring the belly button towards the spine to create that space. So on your exhale, you're lifting the heel off of the floor. And then you're going to bring this foot through, if you can, without touching the floor, lifting it up into a tiny mini kind of like donkey kick. And then bringing this right leg all the way through again, plopping it down. Left block goes all the way back into this lifted left foot. So you're placing the block onto that foot. And then you're extending and bringing it back in. Now this is going to really work your hamstrings. If the block falls, do not worry about it. And try to keep the feet flexed rather than scrunching up the toes. Grabbing that block again, coming all the way forward, walking forward, lifting up the right leg into a slight warrior three. And then on your exhale, you're drawing this left knee into your chest whilst pushing your hands into the blocks to separate the shoulder blades. And then you're tapping the right toes down towards the right wrist. Bringing that foot back up and then tapping. And bringing it back in, tapping, bringing it back in, good job. And then you're coming all the way down to the ground into your boat pose. Now maybe this is on the ground, you know, like how we were before, completely down on the ground with the arms lifted and the knees into the armpits. Or maybe you are in your boat pose with your arms reaching, your feet off of the ground and your knees into your armpits, close. And then we're going to touch the toes to the hands. And we're making sure that we are breathing. We're making sure that we're lifting up through the sit bones as much as we can. 3, 2, and 1. Coming all the way forward, all the way back. Vinyasa. Easy. So, we're doing this a few times, so you're going to get used to it. And the progression could be that you start off with the blocks all the way, and then you start to take the blocks down. Okay, so we're just going to do the right side again for anybody that was just watching. Downward facing dog. It's a bit like Sudoku this, so we're giving our brain a bit of a workout as well. 3-leg dog, right leg high. Exhale, tiger curl, bringing this right leg all the way through low lunge. Hands straight on those blocks into your half splits, extending through that right leg. Walking those blocks back, big inhale. Exhale, lift that leg up, bring that leg all the way through, tiny donkey kick. Bring that leg back, placing the right foot back down onto the ground. Left arm reaches backwards, left foot reaches up, placing the block onto the top or the underside of the foot. And then you're extending. The concentration in this room. I'm not going to edit that out. Keep extending. And then, if your block has fallen, all the way forward, lifting up that left leg, warrior 3. Exhale, bringing that knee into the chest, pushing the hands into the block, separating the shoulder blades, tapping that foot down to the wrist. And now you're just coming into your normal breath. One more tap. All the way down to the ground, boat pose, or coming all the way onto your back. Lifting up the knees into the armpits, reaching the hands forward, tapping the toes towards the hands. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Good job, coming all the way forward. Vinyasa, or straight back into your downward facing dog. Good job, other side. 3-leg dog, left leg high. Tiger curl all the way forward. Grabbing the blocks, halfway splits. Bringing the blocks slightly further back, big inhale. Exhale, lifting up that leg, bringing it all the way back, donkey kick. All the way forward, placing that left foot down, right hand reaches back, right foot reaches off of the ground, placing that block onto the underside of the foot and extending. Notice how I can't talk when I'm doing this. One more. Reaching back, grabbing that block, coming all the way forward, warrior three. Exhale, drawing that knee into the chest, pushing the blocks away, and then tapping that foot down towards the wrist, bringing that foot back up every time. One more. All the way down to the ground, lying down or sitting down, boat pose, reaching forward, 6 taps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good job, coming all the way forward. Vinyasa, remember, always an option. All the way back, downward facing dog. Okay, coming into that again, so we kind of know where we're going now, right? Inhale, 3-leg dog, right leg high. Tiger curl, bring that knee all the way through. See if you can step through without bringing that foot forward with a bit of a helping hand. Half splits. I'm going to try my blocks on this second setting now. Big inhale. Exhale, lift. All the way through, donkey kick. All the way back, stepping that right foot forward. Reaching that left hand back, lifting up that left foot, placing the block on the top of that foot. And extend. One more. Grabbing that block, coming all the way forward into your warrior three. Exhale, driving that knee up. And then drawing that foot down, back up. Touching the wrist or somewhere down there. One more. All the way down to the ground. Remember, lying down is an option. Knees in towards the upper arms. 6 taps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Good job, coming all the way forward, maybe vinyasa. All the way back. This is our last time. 3-leg dog, left leg high. All the way through, low lunge. Half splits. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Bring that leg through, donkey kick. All the way forward, placing that left foot down, reaching the right hand back. Block on top of that foot. And extend. One more. Reaching, grabbing that block. All the way forward, warrior three. Exhale, drawing that knee into the chest, pushing the hands into the blocks. And then foot down towards that right hand. Still compressing, but you are still breathing. One more. All the way down to the ground. It's our final boat pose. Reaching the hands forward, bringing the knees into the armpits. 6 taps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Good job. Easy seat. Okay, just coming back into our breath, closing down our eyes, hands onto the thighs, palms facing up. Taking those breaths all the way down to your belly. Relaxing the eyes, relaxing the jaw and the shoulders, because I'm sure all of those areas have probably got a little bit tighter, especially with concentration as well. Really nice. Okay, just putting the blocks to one side, coming all the way forward, placing the hands down, inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze towards the hand, exhale, bend the knees, step, hop, jump to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, maybe the hands are on the shins. Exhale, fold. Belly resting onto the thighs, remember, so bend your knees as much as you need to for that to happen. Inhale all the way up to standing, really nice. Okay, grabbing just one of our blocks now. I'm going to show you from the front to start with. So we're going to have our block either on the front of the thigh or the side of the thigh. I haven't worked out what's an easier and what's a more difficult version. Both really work my obliques. So we're going to start off with the right leg. So I'm going to place the block on the top of my thigh, taking the left elbow down, and we're pushing the left elbow into the block and coming into our revolved chair. So hands at prayer, at heart center, squeezing the shoulder blades together, twisting the left rib cage round to the right. So we're using that oblique and just making sure that the knees stay in line because that left knee is going to want to come forward. Okay, so sinking down into that revolved chair, pushing the elbow into the block. So much that if I was going to come along and grab that block, I wouldn't be able to because you've got so much pressure into that block with the elbow. Keeping that pressure there, gazing down because we're going to come into our revolved lunge. So we're stepping this left leg back. Now remember that you can have that knee down to the ground. The left knee down to the ground. Still into this twist. So you're still pushing that left elbow into the block, twisting round, and you're still breathing. Coming all the way round to the front, place the right forearm onto the block because we're coming into our side angle. So we're now pushing that right forearm into the block. So really feel it start to, so feel it waking up that right oblique because remember it's an angle rather than a curve. Breathing here. Keep pushing that hand. Keep pushing that forearm into the block. And then reaching the left hand down, grabbing that block, coming all the way up, reverse that warrior, straighten up through that front leg. All the way down to the ground. Block down, vinyasa, or straight back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward, bending the knees. Step, hop, jump to the top of your mat. Halfway lift. And fold. All the way up to standing, really nice. Other side, grabbing that block onto the left thigh or to the side. Right elbow, pushing down into that block. Hands in prayer at heart center. Coming all the way around into that revolved chair. Feeling the obliques, the right obliques switching on as you push. Keep that chest nice and bright and lifted, sinking the tailbone down. Gazing down for balance, stepping that right leg back, revolved lunge. Remember that right knee can be down on the ground. Keep that energy pushing into the block, spinning around, left forearm onto the block. All the way around, side angle. Pushing the block with the forearm now, pushing it into the thigh still. Reaching the right hand, grabbing that block all the way up and over, reverse that warrior, straighten up that leg. All the way down to the ground. Vinyasa. As soon as you get to your downward facing dog, inhale, exhale to the top of your mat, halfway lift, and fold. all the way up to standing. Okay, one more time, both sides. Grabbing that block again. This time we're going to be coming into a half moon variation, so just remember that. Don't go into your vinyasa too soon. Block onto that right thigh, left elbow onto the block, revolving that chair. Not here for long, gazing down, revolved lunge. Side angle. Keeping the side angle, keep pushing the block in with that right forearm, hopping forward with this left leg and coming into your half moon. Now maybe that right leg stays bent. Just notice how your obliques are switched on with this connection with the block. Keep those glutes engaged. Exhale, stepping that foot all the way back, grabbing that block with the left hand, reverse that warrior, really nice. All the way down to the ground. Vinyasa, remember, you can skip these. As soon as you get to your downward facing dog, inhale, gaze forward, bending the knees, stepping forward, halfway lift. And fold. All the way up to standing. Grabbing that block, final side. Block down to the left thigh. Right elbow on top. Revolve chair. Gazing down, stepping that right leg back. Side angle. And then hopping this right foot in to your half moon. Really pushing that energy from the forearm into the block, into the thigh, engaging those glutes. Stepping all the way back, right hand onto the block, reverse that warrior. Into your vinyasa, final vinyasa, I promise. Stepping back. And we're going to all meet in child's pose. Good job. All the way down. Relaxing here. The hard work is done. Good job. Just coming back into your breath. And all we've got to do now is stretch. Is to start to work towards the end of our class. How nice is that? Okay, slowly coming all the way forward, down to the ground, however you get there. And then as soon as the forehead's down, lifting up into your Sphinx pose, so elbows underneath the shoulders, hands flat down to the ground, nice parallel forearms, pushing the ground away, reaching this chest through to the front. Now for me, I get a bit of a pinching in my lower back because I've got an anterior tilt, so I have to bring my hip bones up towards my face, so tilting my pelvis by squeezing my glutes. That might work for you as well. Drawing the shoulder blades back. Maybe closing down the eyes, pushing the fronts of the feet into the ground. Really nice. Exhale all the way down, just resting onto your hands. Extending the left arm all the way out to the side, in line with the shoulder. Coming onto the tippy fingers of the right hand, left ear to the ground, lift up that right leg, spinning that right leg all the way round onto the left side. Maybe the foot reaches down to the ground, or maybe it's just hovering. Using that right hand as your lever to push you further round if you want to. your breathing here. Big inhales. Exhale all the way back down to your belly, other side, reaching that right arm all the way out, right ear to the ground. Left hand, tip your fingers, left foot all the way up and over. If you do want a deeper stretch, you can always do the cactus arms as well. Exhale all the way back down to your belly, and then just keep spinning all the way around onto your back. Coming into the exact same stretches at the start, so left foot down to the ground, extending this right leg up to the sky, hamstring stretch, holding onto the big toe, the calf, the hamstring, and just drawing the shoulder down to the ground, back of the head down to the ground. Taking that right foot, crossing it over to the left side, holding on to the outside of that foot or the thigh or the calf. Stretching down the outside of the leg now. All the way back up, switching over sides, extending the left leg up. Hamstring stretch, drawing the left shoulder down to the ground. You might feel a bit more open this time as well. Crossing all the way over, holding onto the outside of that leg, moving into that IT band. Moving into that IT band stretch. All the way up and release. Big stretch, fingers and toes away from one another. We're coming into our Shavasana, so if you need to do anything else, if you want to do anything else before we get here, feel free. And when you're ready, feet as wide or wider than the mat, toes dropping out to the side, hands away from the body, palms facing up, eyes closed down. And we are surrendering here. We have been doing everything to work up to this point, this special moment that we have in our day that is just for us. It isn't for any other thoughts. It isn't for any other people in our lives. This is so important for us, for our mental health, for our well-being. All you need to do is breathe. You've already carved out this time in your day. So just surrender here. Big inhales through the nose, and on the exhale, any areas of tension, any thoughts racing around your mind, just release them with this exhale. Softening the eyes, softening the jaw, softening the shoulders, allowing the arms to grow heavy, fingers to gently curve. That heaviness continues down the hips, down the thighs, down the calves, all the way to the feet. And the feet are so heavy that the toes are just dropping out to the sides. If you have time for a longer Shavasana, please, please take it. If not, we're going to start to make some gentle movements, wiggling the toes, wiggling the fingers. Big inhale, reaching the fingers and toes away from one another. Bending up the knees, rolling over to whichever side feels right, using that bicep as a pillow. And gently pushing your way all the way up into an easy seat. Hands onto the thighs, palms facing up. Just relish these last few moments of stillness. Hands at heart center. Bow the chin to the chest, thumbs to the third eye. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Thank you so much for being a member of this platform. It just means so much, so much to be able to share my practice with you. Coming to the end of our class. Whenever you're ready, hands away from the eyes and blink the eyes open.